man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown.
But if you're Joe Rogan, you're a champion jiu-jitsu guy, mixed martial arts, he'll beat up the mugger. Joe is really nice. He's agreed to stay with us a whole other hour. And we're going to have Burmis back in later to talk 9/11 with him. JoeRogan.net. Joe, I want to get back into 9/11 and other things later, but right now I wanted to talk about DMT and electronic voting machines, because I know you've talked a lot about both those issues, and they're both pretty darn important. You want to get into DMT first and the type of experiences you've had? I mean, you're a big health guy, but you've taken this, I guess, as a spiritual experience or whatever. You want to tell folks what happens when you take it?
I think that psychedelic experiences are the root of all religious experiences. That's what my personal belief is. I believe that these religious experiences that people have had without psychedelics are the result of natural, endogenous dumps of psychedelics in your system. And this is from reading a lot of people's books. None of these are my ideas.
Yeah, you eat some bad cheese and it's got DMT in it. It's in a lot of natural things.
It's not that simple. It's not that you can't really eat DMT, because DMT, your stomach produces something called monoamine oxidase, and it breaks down.
You got to smoke it, but I mean, there's other things that'll make you hallucinate and put it up.
There's ways that they've been doing it for thousands of years in the Amazon, where they make a brew called ayahuasca. And what it is the vine of one plant and then the leaves of another plant. And it's mixed together. So it's DMT is in one of the plants, and the other plant is what's called an MAO inhibitor, a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. And what that does is it allows them to take an orally active form of DMT. And this drug DMT, you want to call it a drug, it's actually a natural human neurotransmitter.
No, I understand.
And it exists, but I'm just saying to people that don't understand it, it exists everywhere in nature. It exists in thousands of different plants. It exists in human beings make it naturally. They believe the pineal gland is what makes it. And what that means, what the pineal gland is, it's literally your third eye. It's a gland in the middle of your forehead that in reptiles, in some reptiles, it actually has a retina and a cornea and a lens. I mean, it literally is a third eye. And this is where all the anecdotal evidence points to that this gland is producing this crazy chemical.
During your
wherever
sleep.
It's produced in your body, wherever it is, whatever makes it. When you take this stuff, you encounter the most unbelievably beautiful experience, ultimate wisdom, being in front of something that exposes every single aspect of your personality, of your thoughts, everything you've ever said and done. It's like reads you right through you, connects you to everything in the world, and you're being communicated with. Something is talking to you, and it's whatever it is, you're looking at it, and it's constantly changing, and it looks like, the way I describe it, I say it's like complex geometric patterns that are made out of love. It's some unbelievable experience, and your own brain makes this stuff, and they believe that your brain makes this stuff in mass quantities right before you die. So what you could be seeing when you do DMT, heaven, the idea of heaven, might be real. It might not be as simple as you die. It might be something far more complicated.
Now, Joe, if you love this stuff so much, I mean, you're a big health guy. You've only taken it twice, though. Is that because it's so heavy?
I've taken it a bunch of times.
Okay, well, I must have heard an old interview then.
It's not, yeah, it was an old interview. That was a few years ago. It's not something that you do all the time, though. It's something that you do, and then you have to really think about what you learned when you were having that experience, because otherwise you're going to lose your context. The problem with psychedelics is if you do them too much, you lose your connection to this world. You lose your connection to people and life and our culture and our society and communication and friendship. You lose your connection because the other world is so crazy and so alien to this world that once you've been in it a few times, this world doesn't make any more sense.